Years and years shine, and you are now listening and watching to Dan and Phil on Radio 1.
Listening and watching too. Are you Yoda today?
Clara.
What?
Listening and watching too.
Sorry, that was just
does
a
not make
test.
sense.
Did I just say watching to?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. You are now watching to Dan and Phil on the radio. Great start.
BBC Radio 1.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
It is the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m, so you know what that means. It is the Internet Takeover on BBC Radio 1 with Dan and Phil, who are in control for the next hour. I'm just going to be real with you guys. We haven't done a live radio show in 2 months, so I'm just saying, like, anything could happen.
Just don't press that button that says delete the radio.
Okay, thank you, Phil.
Just avoid that one.
There's so many buttons. I've forgotten what they all do. So whether you're here for the banter and eclectic music choice, or because you love seeing live broadcast go horribly wrong, stay tuned for the next hour.
So what is on the menu for us today, Dan?
Okay, in 15 minutes, we'll be telling you all of the weirdest news stories from around the world in internet news, and later, of course, we will be playing the 7-second challenge.
Also, you can watch us live at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, where you'll see in the month that we are away, Dan has had eagle wings grafted onto his back.
That's not true.
Which was a brave choice. We have to get people to click on the link.
Get people to click, okay, by deceiving them. Speaking of which, why are you wearing shorts at 9 p.m. in an air-conditioned room, Phil?
I've released the pale legs. Well, I was wearing them all day, and it's just, like, seeped into night now.
Wow, okay, so whether you want to see my not eagle wings or Phil's meaty legs, get on the Radio 1 website. Do you take offense to that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, I feel like we should change the subject. So the next song that I want to play for you guys is from a group called eBay, and I actually discovered this duo from watching the BBC Two coverage of Glastonbury.
Yeah.
They did one of the live performances in their little, fancy tree set.
Yeah.
And I looked them up on YouTube afterwards, and I just want to say the description of the band is the best thing ever.
Okay.
So prepare yourself for this.
Prepared.
eBay is the Parisian musical duo of twin sisters who meld Afro-Cuban roots music and electro doom soul.
What is doom soul?
Gotta love some electro doom soul on the radio.
I think you've got a doom soul, Dan.
Do I?
I can tell.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Just
okay.
looking into your eyes.
Well, whilst I reflect on that, enjoy the music. Here is eBay with River on BBC Radio 1. That was Doom Soul on Radio 1. What do you think, Phil? Do you
I liked it. It didn't feel very doomy. It's more like Happy Soul.
Have the gloomy aesthetic. You know what I mean? Pretty good. Look them up. So here we are. Dan and Phil on Radio 1. Relatable conversations. What
can we talk about?
It's been warm. That's a thing, hasn't it? It's been really hot this week. How have you found that?
I melted into a puddle twice, like Alex Mack, which is a very obscure 90s TV show reference.
I don't even know what reference you just made. No. So that's not good for Radio 1, I think, Phil. I think you might have actually gone too far there.
Sorry, how have you coped with the heat?
I mean, knowing me.
Yeah.
So as someone who's it's kind of become a thing for me to wear mainly black clothing, it's been a difficult week.
You're a walking funeral.
Thank you, Phil. I'll take that as a compliment. But yeah, I mean, because you know when it's summer, when it's like a breezy evening, you'll sometimes wear 2 layers. You can't wear 2 black layers because then you'll just disintegrate. So I've been suffering, but no matter what, you cannot compromise your aesthetic. So I've been proudly suffering in the summer heat.
Well done. I actually got an air conditioning unit, which said it would be portable and whisper quiet. It sounds like a jet engine and it's bigger than a car.
Whisper quiet? Yeah. Are you kidding me? I can hear it when I'm like asleep across the house.
But it does cool my room down, which is nice. But I'm paranoid it's going to suck beetles in from outside and just like release them into my bedroom.
Yeah, like a jungle or something.
In the back of my mind, I think, what if an owl flies in, gets spliced up in the machine and then just sprays blood all over my bedroom?
Graphic imagery. I really hope that doesn't happen.
It's a real fear.
You might need to enlist me in the cleanup there. Yep. But, I mean, we've had a good day watching the tennis inside, haven't we?
I've got to be honest, I don't understand the rules of tennis. I've been trying so hard this year.
You can vaguely understand who's winning.
What do those numbers mean? But I thought we'd bring tennis back.
Okay.
And make it even better.
What's your plan, Phil?
We're going to invent a new rule of tennis.
Oh, okay, like we did this for football recently, and we offended everyone because we asked people to improve football, and they were like, football can't be improved. So how are you going to phrase it this week?
We're going to say #invent a new tennis rule.
Is it a new?
Or invent a tennis rule.
That's catchy. Yeah, so
#invent a tennis rule.
Okay, so you want people to just suggest something that will somehow shake up the game of tennis. Have you got an example?
I think we can make it more interesting. Mine would be make the rackets 3 times bigger.
What a terrible idea. Okay, so you guys get thinking of that. Tweet them in or text them 81199 #invent a tennis rule on Twitter, and we'll read them out throughout the show.
Yeah, we're going to go to some Taylor Swift now. She's infected me with an earworm again. So I'd like to get cured by listening to Bad Blood.
What a weird way to introduce a song. Here's Taylor Swift.
Get to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 now to watch the Dan and Phil show on Radio 1.
That was T-Swizzle with Bad Bizzle.
Nice, Phil.
Thank you.
We've been reading the Twitters from people already suggesting their hashtag invent a tennis rule, which we'll get to after this, but I had a little think, Phil.
Go on.
I'd infuse a bit of Roman Colosseum kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Release different kinds of animals into the court at different...
Well, they don't know what animal it will be.
I know you'd think it's quite basic, like, oh, release some lions, but no, it could be anything. Like, you could release some lions and then, you know, they'd try harder.
Yeah.
You would, wouldn't you? But you could just release some rabbits and they just unhelpfully flop everywhere. And then it wouldn't be dangerous. It'd just be like, oh, you wouldn't want to step on them.
It's a mild...
So then it would be like, whoa, I have to hop over the rabbit.
I think it's a mild animal rights issue, but I think it would be very entertaining nonetheless.
In an alternate universe, it would be good.
Keep those coming in with hashtag invent a tennis rule. Now it's time to cross over to the charming and mysterious Dan and Phil in the news story to find out what's happening in the world this week.
It's internet news.
This is the Internet News.
Internet news.
Our top story today concerns Frozen's Princess Elsa, but as you've never seen her before, as a terrifying cake. Yes, a family ordered a princess cake, expecting it to look just like the beautiful Disney princess, but they weren't too happy with what they've received. Let's see the photo. Okay, Phil, how would you describe that cake to anyone that can't see it?
It's a monster. It's an actual monster. It looks like Elsa's powers reversed, and she melted herself from the inside.
It's like she's been injected with silicone everywhere. It's quite horrific. Yeah, the post from Official Big Head showing what it is, I'd still eat it, to be honest.
Would you eat it off the floor?
The cake. No, I'm not a floor cake person. I wouldn't go that far.
The bits off the nose that haven't touched the floor.
Thanks for sharing.
Internet news. Next we go to the story of an incredible zebra that seemingly sings for snacks.
Excuse me?
This video has got about 300,000 views this week, so let's have a look.
Okay. Excuse me.
You got something to say?
How is that happening?
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
In case anybody, like Phil, is having their mind blown right now, I'm just going to spoil it for you.
What?
That's not actually the zebra, it's the man in the car.
No!
He's making the zebra open its mouth by holding snacks open and then singing at the right time.
Spoiled the magic for everyone.
It's still a very funny video,
I
Phil.
thought singing zebras were among us.
Well, I'm sorry to break everybody's hearts in that way.
Oh, what we should be talking about is the beautiful voice of the man in the car, if that is the case.
That's some real talent right there. Simon Cowell, snap him up.
Internet news.
Next we head to Edinburgh, where Spambox was left furious after spending £3.20 on the worst bacon and egg roll possibly of all time. Phil, look at that photo.
What?
How outraged are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
About a 7, though. If you go to like a Heston Blumenthal restaurant, that could be how they would serve it.
Okay, for anyone that's wondering, I'd say about a fifth of the bun is taken up by bacon and eggs there. That really, that boils my blood. That just makes me angry about the universe. And commenters on Reddit said that it looks like the bacon came from a micro pig. There we go. Watch out, trendy pet owners, for your £3.50 sandwiches.
Internet news. And finally, you may know the poem of the owl and the pussycat who are best friends. Well, that is happening for real in a cafe in Japan.
Oh, Japanese cafes.
I am all about the Japanese-themed cafes. Snake cafes, maid cafes, robot cafes.
Do you remember that cannibalism-themed cafe that we went to? I didn't really want the omelette from that one.
That went
that was a bit weird.
Slightly too far.
Anyway, animals.
Yeah, okay, I've got to be careful with this one. Fuku.
Excuse me.
Fuku is a baby owl who lives alongside a fluffy kitten called Marimo. Here's the picture.
Oh my god. That is
so cute!
Wow, surely, Phil, this is your best thing in the world. Unlikely friendships.
This is like the combination of everything I love. Themed cafes and animals that are friends with each other that shouldn't be.
That is the cutest picture I've ever seen.
I think this may be my favourite news story of all time.
And a beautiful thing to end on. That was the internet news. Back to Dan and Phil in the studio.
The Internet News.
Thanks, Dan and Phil from the Internet News Studio. So, Muse have a new album. That's a thing. You're looking at basically teenage Muse fan number 1 and 2 here.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Phil? One word review?
Mind controlling.
Was that hyphenated?
A hyphen, yeah.
Very Matt Bellamy. I think he'd be proud of that being your review of it.
Yeah.
This song was actually debuted by Annie Mac on Radio 1 as the premiere teaser from the new album. I was very excited. I was listening. It is my favourite one from the album.
This is definitely the best one.
You think so too?
Yeah.
Enjoy it, people. This is Muse with The Handler on BBC Radio 1. Muse, The Handler on BBC Radio 1 from their new album Drones, which, as Phil said, is... What are you...
Mind control.
Mind controlling.
With a hyphen.
With a hyphen.
Dan and Phil on BBC Radio 1.
So obviously, the main event of the world right now is that Wimbledon thing that's happening, but Phil thinks there's room left for improvement in this so-called sport of tennis.
We can work on it. That's all I'm saying.
So we've been asking you guys to tweet us with hashtag invent a tennis rule with what you would do if you were just some strange megalomaniac that could do anything to the world of tennis. And we've had some interesting tweets. The first one here from Boo on Twitter said, I would make it illegal to make inappropriate grunting noises when you hit the ball.
That's half the fun of tennis.
I feel like it's a really important part of tennis. It would be a shame to lose that.
It's great with surround sound. It's like there's a grunting noise behind you, then one in front of you, then one behind you.
I've never experienced that. It sounds kind of violating.
It's really good. Okay. Mitch said, if you lose a tennis match, you have to get your hands turned into rackets.
I like that. That implies that losing makes you like have some kind of surgical procedure.
That would help them, right?
That is exactly like losing would give you an advantage where you don't have to hold anything. You just become the tennis.
I am kind of disturbed by a world of tennis racket-handed people, but I think it might be good.
You think it might be good?
Yeah.
Lauren wants it to be played in water. I'm pretty sure that's probably already a sport.
Water tennis?
Water tennis.
Might be.
There's probably a name for that. I mean, they've just called it water tennis. I'm sorry to all the professional water tennis players out there that we just offended.
Fran wants the ball to be the golden snitch.
That would be difficult.
That would be really hard.
I don't know how they'd get over the kind of Z-axis issue that they'd need to overcome.
Could they then get broomsticks as well, or would that just be copyright Harry Potter?
Then it would just become Quidditch, I think. Yeah.
I think I'd prefer to watch that, if I'm honest.
Wow, Phil went there. Darcy Rachel. Oh, this is a good one.
I like this one.
This is a good one to leave on for now. That the ball boys should be dogs.
Bulldogs. I would love that.
Bulldogs, that needs to be a thing.
They would have the best day at work because they would just be grabbing the ball and getting it.
And they'd be wagging their tails, they'd be dribbling everywhere, which would make it kind of gross. I don't know if the dribble would kind of affect the aerodynamic nature of it.
Imagine slow motion dribble going into the
I'd like to see various dog breeds slow-mo catching a ball in midair.
That is the one. Wow. I want that. That has to happen.
Can we end the hashtag now, or does it? Because I feel like that's it.
Wimbledon is listening.
That's the improvement that the sport needs.
Yeah. Keep thinking of them though.
Yeah, if you're outside Wimbledon, just release one into there now. If you're sat on the hill just enjoying some strawberries or whatever you do.
Hashtag invent a tennis rule. We'll be returning to that later. But now, Lost Frequencies are currently #1 this week with
Congrats.
Are You With Me? So as an extra little treat alongside their chart trophy, I thought I'd play their live lounge cover of Counting Stars. I think it's actually better than the original.
Do you? That's a very popular song. That's a brave opinion, Phil.
I like it more, maybe because I've heard Counting Stars so many times. But
ooh, okay.
This is like a refreshing, different version of it.
Okay, so you guys decide how you feel.
We're going to be playing this video now, so get to bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 if you would like to watch it with us.
Here is Lost Frequencies with the cover of Counting Stars.
Lost Frequencies with their live lounge of Counting Stars. You can check that up on the Radio 1 iPlayer and YouTube channel. I was looking for some Lost Frequencies facts because I didn't know much about this guy.
You love to hit the audience with some facts, don't you, Phil?
I love a good fact, and I googled it, and there's no facts out there. What's he going to do if he's in a teen magazine? Has to have one of those fact boxes. What are we going to put in there? You're saying that there are no facts on the internet of Lost Frequencies. Well, let's start some rumours about Lost Frequencies. Okay. His middle name is actually Henrietta. Again, much like the start of the show in My Eagle Wings, I have to remind you guys that that's not true. He once fought a tiger and won. So, on to the tennis. We've had more of your guys' brilliant suggestions with hashtag invent a tennis rule. Michaela said that they should ride horses while playing. Again, I feel like that's probably already a sport that is incredibly underlooked, so sorry to all the horse tennis players. I'd watch that. Would you? Yeah. Caitlin said, every time you get a point in tennis, you get $10. Now, I read that, right? Yeah. And I was like, obviously, all of us are going to be like, yes. Yeah. I'd love to get $10. International listener. Might be Hi, America, if you're listening on the website. But then I thought... 4th of July. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, you're really winning them with that one. Freedom! Professional tennis wouldn't be very roused by that, would they? No. Here's $10 for scoring 1 point. I don't feel like it would be on TV then. They'd be like, no thanks, I'm going to do something where I can wear shoes. I like this one by Kayla that just said they have to catch the tennis ball in their mouth. Now that's some talent. Yeah. Try catching a 130 miles per hour projectile with your teeth. I see no flaws with that suggestion. I can catch the odd minstrel, but I don't know how it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as throwing like gummy sweets and catching them in your mouth. Jeremiah has ignored the hashtag rule and texted us in, which you can do.
Very brave.
He said the players should decide what their opponent has to wear for maximum distraction.
Ooh.
What would you wear?
Or what would I tell my opponent to wear?
Yeah.
I'd get them to wear like a potato, like sack race thing. So they have to keep their arms and legs inside a thing, and they just have to kind of like awkwardly hold it with both hands and hop into it.
I'd make them wear the legs of a pantomime horse with just like a tennis racket sticking out.
Very creative. Again, I feel like there are many suggestions that maybe would make it slightly more interesting to spectate.
The inventors of tennis would be kicking themselves right now. That's all I'm going to say.
If they heard all of these brilliant suggestions, we'll keep them coming in. Hashtag invent a tennis rule. We'll keep going throughout the show.
Let's have some more music. Right, whenever I tweet anything, there's always at least one person telling me to listen to 21 Pilots.
The fandom is out there.
They are. What's the fandom called of 21 Pilots?
Ooh, I feel like
don't know.
You're going to fake fan
Planes?
Phil.
The 21 Planes?
Shout out to all the planes listening to the radio now. Phil is a big 21 Pilots fan.
The duty freeze?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I had a listen. They're actually really good. So here is Tear in My Heart on Radio 1. That was actually The Handler by Muse. Matt Bellamy cannot get enough. He wants to come back.
Look, I promised a mistake. I had to press the button once. Here is Tear in My Heart by 21 Pilots on Radio 1.
"21 Pilots," who I've just found out their fandom name is The Clique. So shout out to The Clique, who've been tweeting me every day.
Not
there we go.
Not the planes.
Not the planes or the duty freeze. I apologise.
Phil is very sorry.
This is
BBC Radio
1.
So speaking of discovering eBay on the BBC Two coverage, we sat and watched all of Glastonbury like couch potatoes, didn't we?
It was great.
I was very proud. I managed to get Phil to watch the entire Kanye set.
I watched the whole thing.
I think he knows how much that meant to me.
Yeah.
And he sat through it with me. What did you think, Phil? What were your opinions?
The lighting gave me a headache. It was so flashy.
Okay. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on Kanye West, and I didn't like
watching
the lighting.
it in a dark room, I felt like I'd been brainwashed by the government or something with all those flashing lights.
So is it the lighting too flashy?
Yeah.
Any opinions?
It sounded pretty good.
Sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty happy with it. As someone that kind of, Kanye is my life.
Yeah.
He is my fave. My fave is problematic. You could definitely say that, being a Kanye stan. I wanted him to do a show a bit like the one that he did at Coachella, or like Jay-Z or Beyonce's one, where it's like crazy, like dancers and like swans and fireworks and stuff. So, to like naysay the haters or something. We got a crane, though. I mean, when I saw him getting in the crane, I was like, the guy operating that crane, dream job. That's me. I've found it right there. I want to be the guy in the cherry picker, awkwardly stood, trying to not like be on camera while he's rapping along. Yeah, that was my dream job. I had a good time doing it. And I'm almost running out of new Kanye-related songs to play, which is something I've been doing for a while. I need his new album. I need Swish in my life. Kanye, for me, on the radio, I can't support you every show, which is maybe kind of. Am I allowed to?
I don't know.
It's
probably
fine,
not.
But I managed to find one. This is the song that he made with Vic Mensa that is unfortunately named after a really old meme. This is Vic Mensa with You Mad on BBC Radio 1. Vic Mensa, You Mad, featuring Kanye on Radio 1. It's an alright song. It's okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did a song last year called, what was it called? Down on My Luck, where he was singing. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's trying a bit too hard on that one.
Can you try too hard?
Well, that's me not invited to someone's birthday. So it is now time. Prepare yourselves for the most intense per second radio feature ever invented.
The 7-second challenge.
My
Phil.
eyes are twitching. I'm so ready for this. Look at this, I've got an eye twitch.
I think...
You see that?
I don't know if that's an emotion. I think you might need to see a doctor. Uh-oh. Text us if you're a medical professional. Don't do that. So, Phil, would you like to explain to any newcomers what the 7-second challenge is?
I would love to. It's a game that I invented. That basically, you have to do whatever I say in 7 seconds.
Or the other person says.
Yeah. If you get it wrong, you're out.
Sudden death. That's why this is tense. That's why I'm doing this. It's a tense moment.
If the time runs out, you're out.
Because there's only 7 seconds to do the thing that the person says.
And
self-explanatory.
If you are the winner, you get to choose a song that you wouldn't normally hear on Radio 1.
Do you know what you're playing this week, if you win?
I've had such a good one in my back pocket for a while. I'm ready to reveal it to the world.
Okay, well, I kind of want to play mine as well. So high stakes. We're playing for 3 minutes of music on the radio here, people.
The beef is above our heads.
What? Okay.
Stakes.
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Nice.
I've made that joke before.
I'm going to give you props.
It's back again.
Okay.
Right.
Good. Never let that pun go. Are you
Here we
ready,
go.
Phil?
I'm warming up.
I'm going to give you your first one.
Okay.
Phil.
Yes.
What are 3 things that you wouldn't get a tattoo of?
A dinosaur, my grandma, and the word log.
Okay, I'm going to give you a ding for that one.
I don't know what. I think a dinosaur might be all right.
When I was thinking of that one, did your mind immediately go to everything you can't say on the radio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Dan.
You're welcome. But you passed. That's all that matters. Okay.
Right. Dan, say 3 names that you think are cooler than your name.
Zach, Ezekiel, and Apple.
Apple?
Whose celebrity child was named Apple?
Chris Martin.
That's I was Team Apple.
You were Team Apple. You liked it.
Do I get a ding?
You get a ding.
Yes. Okay.
I'm
you ready?
I'm scared. Right. Okay.
Okay, Phil.
What?
The floor is lava. You have 7 seconds to not touch the floor.
What?
Okay, this is one where if you're not watching on the website, you may be missing.
I'm on a box. Did I do it?
You found a foam cube.
I'm not sure how safe this is.
The floor is no longer lava. Get off. You're going to destroy something.
Oh, I have never run so fast.
I'm proud of you for that one, Phil. You get a ding.
Thanks.
Okay.
I've got leg abs. What are they called?
I
don't know.
Like calf muscles?
I've got calves.
Leg
abs.
Serious business.
Dan, I want you to compliment me in 3 accents.
What? You look very smart today. I like your shoes, bro. Nice headphones, yeah.
I like that. I think that was good. I think you passed.
I was so nearly problematic on the radio. That was a dangerous one as well.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
Did I pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
This is getting tense.
Yep.
Are you sure? Phil, talk non-stop for 7 seconds without using the letter E.
Later. Oh!
No!
That was so hard.
No! Fail!
Okay. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Later.
I love that you paused for what I was like. I won't count the first second as hesitation.
I'm just going to crawl into a cave of shame.
Later. Okay, well, there we go. That means that this week, I am the winner of the 7-second challenge. It's a very proud moment for me. I know exactly
Congrats.
what song I'd like to play for you all.
What's on them?
Here on Radio 1 is All Star by Smash Mouth.
Again?
Yes.
You're playing it again.
Here we go. I'm sorry for being such meme trash, everybody. Here's that song from Shrek.
No.
Somebody
All Star Smash Mouth on Radio 1. Thanks to me winning the 7-second challenge.
If you play Smash Mouth again, I'm going to get the army to take you away. It's an offence.
Is that a thing you can do?
Yes.
Okay, well, I feel adequately threatened. Maybe you should just win next time, Phil. How's about that? How's about you win the game you invented?
My song is so good. Next time, I'm going to win.
To anyone who doesn't frequently listen to the radio at this time, I went through about a 5-month dry spell where I didn't win once. So I'm going to, annoyingly savor every time I win the 7-second challenge.
I'm going to bring it back. You haven't complimented my haircut, Dan.
What? Oh, you had a haircut.
Yep.
I'm a bad friend. Do you expect me to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Snazzy hair, Phil.
Got short sides and everything.
Defo.
Something slightly strange happened. I was having my hair washed by a man. He was washing my hair. Mm-hmm. And then he kept asking me. He asked me about 3 times, does the water feel fresh? And
while he was stroking your head?
Yes.
Oh, that's just a bit weird. Why?
Is it hot or is it cold? I can answer. Is it fresh?
Yeah, like, is this a comfortable temperature for you? That would be fine. What is?
Is it Brita filtered? I don't know. I don't know what this water is. Is it from the tap? So I was just like, yeah, I guess it feels fresh.
I mean, how could he have made it fresher if you said no?
I don't know. I do not know. Also, his finger slipped into my ear holes a few times.
So I'm someone that has like neck touching issues. So like someone sneaking a finger into your ear is like,
no, that was
a personal bubble, and I don't even know what that would be. But that's just not great, is it?
Anyway, sorry, Mr. Hairwasher, if you're listening.
Phil,
the water was fresh.
Phil really likes his haircut, even though he was very uncomfortable with how you described the washing procedure.
Mildly uncomfortable.
Okay, so this next song has come from a guy that I've been a fan of for a long time, and he seems to somehow actually be getting even more popular than he already is at the moment, which I'm very happy for. When I went to the YouTube comments under the video for this song on YouTube, which is not something I necessarily recommend that you do, there was a comment that said, I really think that Abel is the reincarnation of Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And I was like, I think he's like 35, I don't know if that, but that, YouTube, you can always rely on them, but this is a good song. Here is The Weeknd with Can't Feel My Face. Can't Feel My Face, The Weeknd. It's a good song, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's the penultimate one that we're going to play tonight, as it's almost time for us to leave.
I don't want to leave.
I hope you all enjoy your sticky nights coming ahead. Thank you to everybody for sending in your hashtag #InventorTennisRule tweets.
We've got one good one, a final one from Anne.
Yeah.
Who said, if you miss the ball, you have to twerk.
What? Is that the note we're really going to end the show on?
Yeah.
Wow, so just imagine a Wimbledon where everyone's twerking if they miss. Keep that in your heads. And now, before we go to Hugh Stevens after our show, we're taking it back to the MySpace days. Here is My Chemical Romance with Helena on Radio 1. You have been listening to Dan and Phil on Radio 1. Next up is Hugh Stevens, but now we get the latest headlines from Newsbeat with Anna Collinson.